Hey everybody, this is Mario Ranchi, brand strategist and founder of Manufacturer, here today with another episode of Ambitions of an Agency. And today we're going to be talking about what I did last weekend. So last weekend I went and visited my mentor. I saw him in person, the business mentor that helped me understand how to do outreach strategies, how to, do direct methods, all this type of stuff. That person that I learned from all those techniques from, and evolve that into my own sort of thing. I met in person with him last weekend. He lives in a very far out place in the UK, and I just went and visited him there. So it was interesting stuff. So yeah, basically what I learned from him while I was there, we kind of did two things when we were there, and I actually took some videos of it, and I will show you a little bit of it when we edit in this later. But basically what we saw there and what I did with him there was whiteboard out a few things. We both figured out the marketing part and the fulfillment part, right? So just to get it tighter, get it better than what it is right now. So what you can do is, what I did basically is, he helped me out with understanding first simplifying the message, and then the fulfillment and making things faster in the fulfillment process for the most part. So for the message part, he really helped with showing the kind of, how to just simplify that to like a third grade level, or like a 5-year-old level, basically, right? He said basically, clients pay you for simplicity, Mario. Clients pay you for simplicity. That thing that stuck with me, really. Because yeah, they really do. They just pay me for simplicity, to make complex things simple. That's it. Because everything that's complex causes pain. It causes issues. It causes problems for them. So when you simplify things and you make things easier for them and you solve a problem for them, that becomes valuable. Versus, and this kind of opposite to the design industry and the branding industry in general, is because the branding industry is obsessed with complexity and frameworks and this and that and this, and sprints and all these type of frameworks, but they don't actually know where this is going to end up. Very few do. So knowing that and understanding, okay, they pay for simplicity, Mario. So say when you're on sales calls, say it's simple, right? You do this to do this and this, right? I help you stand out from other educators and have your clients pick them over other education businesses, and drive traffic to a site that turns them into a booked call. That's it. That's a very simple description of what I do, and we did that. Another thing that we did, which was really interesting, was mapping out the fulfillment process, right? So he's very good at kind of taking down things and making them, again, simpler, right? Or taking out things that are unnecessary, waste, basically, right? Relieving the unnecessary waste, right? So to make processes more efficient. And here, what he did was, he basically took what I do already, and then he said, is this necessary? Is this necessary? Is this necessary? And then he would take things that weren't necessary and say, well, is that necessary, Mario? Do you really need to present all that work to the client, or all this information to the client? And I was thinking about, it's like, because I still have some of that designer mentality still, kind of just like thinking, no, I still need to present a huge pitch deck, and I still need to, do that. I need to show them the theory behind it, the ideas behind it. It's like, yeah, you can, but do it simpler, right? How can you take that, 1 hour or 45-minute session or presentation, and can you put it down to at least 15 minutes or 10 minutes, right? And that cuts down significantly less time, right? And so it kept me thinking about, how can I make my process faster? Because again, it's not about how long or how long you do or how long you work. It's, does the client get the end result? Does he actually get the value at the end of the day? It doesn't need to be slow. It can be fast. It can be quick. It can be slow. It doesn't matter. What matters is he going to get the end result? And if you can get the end result quicker, it's even better for the client, because they get the end result quicker, right? So it relieves friction from where we had before, which is kind of like, we need to do all these steps, and then, so it's kind of showing me there's things in my process that I've learned that I can take away from to a little bit, and actually things that I've described past in these videos before, that I think I can just take away now, and I'm gonna try to evolve my processes from that. Okay, so those are the two things I learned basically, talking to him and meeting with him basically, and basically if you want to see who he is Patrick O'Connell, and his website's profitabledesigner.com. Just go on there. He has a ton of content, ton of stuff that possibly can help you guys out, and again, he's just really, really good at helping simplify things and make things more efficient, which is really what most designers really need, because they're in so much complexity in ideology and processes, all this type of stuff. So you kind of just narrow it down, make it simpler. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a couple clips over here. I'm struggling at the moment to try to figure out exactly what it is. What it is that could help me like manage all those projects at once, right? So I've never had three projects going simultaneously. I've had like 2 projects go on a little bit, and then that gets off, and 2 more. I've done that, but I've never done like 3 simultaneously, or 4 or 5 simultaneously.
Yeah.
So I want to try to get to that level.
Okay, well, like what are the 3 big steps?
So the big first step is going to be the stride sessions, of course. Definitely the stride sessions. I'd say.
What are you trying to get out of the strategy session?
So first we're trying to get out the unique selling point. That's the first part, and then the second part is the brand part of things, the values, the look and feel, all that type of stuff. Yeah, and that doesn't take too much time. It takes an hour and sometimes 45 minutes if it's really quick.
Okay, so
they are 2 sessions, just 2 sessions. I don't do more than 2 sessions.
Okay, so that's all. Okay, and then what are we trying to achieve out of those 2?
Well, basically,
we're trying to figure out
yeah.
what, and this is why it's important.
Oh,
why should
I do it correct? Why should I keep it correct?
Why should I pick you over the others? Right?
Yes.
That's all you're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
You're trying to answer that, and you're trying to get the brief for the branding and content rollout.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. Okay, so that's all. That's step 1 done. So that should only take you 2 hours. Perfect.
Oh, I mean, I guess the first and the second step, I guess the final step of the first step is the strategy overview, where it's a presentation of how I will build out this communication.
Yeah, that should be a document.
But yeah, it's a document.
Okay, cool. Okay, but yeah, what we're more worried about is things that require your labour.
Oh, okay. Well, that does, because I'm presenting the thing to some degree, right? So I've always presented my work only because that's how I've been able to get client buy-in for the most part. If I send a PDF only, they kind of like look over, they're like, I don't know, and stuff like that, or I don't know these things here and there. So
once you've done stuff for them.
Yeah, like, so I have all this info, I put it together in a overview. I can just show you right here. It's one of them. It can take about 2 or 3 days, because it's like I'm rearranging a lot of stuff.
I put it to you that you don't need to do that.
Okay. That's going to be new to me, because how am I going to present the visuals and whatnot? How am I going to do that? What?
Just do it. Do the rough version of it. Like, present just the visual of the branding identity, and then maybe the message.
So I don't need to show the competitors. I don't need to show.
Go through the competitors on the call.
This is it's like a typical pitch looking sort of thing. I guess.
Yeah, but you've already closed the client. You don't have to pitch them anything.
I guess it helps me summarize the entire thing and helps build out the brand guide. But yeah, interesting.
Like,
and it shows where I'm going with all this. And if I start like making a visual that they don't understand what it is, it's just kind of like, So yeah, it is an important part of my process, but I can see why it's taking a while to do that.
Yeah, so what my job is always to do is how can we remove you from that and they still get the same value and they still understand it. So
that's a good idea, actually.
so here's this thing's really important here, right?
Yes, of course.
Right? And then the brief and the branding content rollout. So instead of sending them all that, I literally
Or
think,
presenting them all then.
I think what you do is you send them 3 options. So at the end of this here, you send them 3 options or 2 options based on what they've given you. You go off and you just assume, okay, fuck it, you've given me the information, I'm going to go come back and I'm going to do my best interpretation of 3 different options for you to choose and you pick one. Or you can combine 2 of them.
Yeah, sometimes I do one, sometimes I do 2 or do 3. If I can't come up with action, because I always want to present the things that I'm proud of, so in this case, if I don't believe in an idea that will work, I will present it. So if I only come up with 2, I will show them 2, and then we'll pick one or the other. If they want 3, I can do 3, or if I come up with 3 that are good, I'll do 3. But usually now I've just done 2 for the most part.
Okay, then just do 2. But now what you do, literally, is spend, and this is, I'm being serious here,
No, for sure.
1 hour
Wow.
to get both of these to them.
So there's no need for I forget, there is still a lot of, I guess, marketing.
Well, all of that stuff, all you're doing is putting from your head onto paper,
Yes.
your thought process, right?
Do maybe they don't need to see that, is that what
No.
you're saying?
Well, that's your responsibility. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't need to know how a combustion engine converts petrol into acceleration in my car. I just want my car to fucking get me home. Okay?
Yeah.
So like everything that you're putting down here is great and it's how you arrive to this. But what's more important is that you have the ability to arrive at this. That's all they care about. So then they might be like, well, explain to me this, and then you can explain it. Explain it to them without spending days doing stuff.
So there's no need for a slide, it's just options and then the unique selling point.
Yeah.
That's it.
Unique selling point, branding, brief in regards to what kind of look, feel, and then you just go based on what you've told me and the fact that I'm an expert and this is my space, here's 2 options. Let's have a conversation.
So so I've noticed that there's a part of this process that what I'm doing is I'm also kind of, I'm telling them why the idea works or why the unique selling point works, but they're telling me they don't need to understand that.
No, because that's what you do is you get to an agreement in these 2 hours that one USP is the thing you guys are going to use.
Oh, but sometimes I have to go back and wordsmith it, so...
You can wordsmith it as you go through. So what I'm saying is...
Sure.
You build these out really quick with the USP in them so that they get an overall look and feel of the whole experience. And they can be rough, right? Because you're doing the perfectionist designer thing and creating that big lengthy process there.
Yep.
But that's more for you than it is for them. So just give them the end result. 2 options from an end result. If they go,
so that's that's my process I'm presenting. That's actually the thing I would need to understand the whole thing, but I don't need to show them that.
No, you don't. I don't show any of my clients that. I just go.
That makes sense now.
So what happens is, after we chat the first time, I go back to them with a 3D file. And I'm like, is that what you're thinking? Yeah, it is actually, but we weren't thinking that and that. Cool, then I'll make those 2 changes. You know what I mean?
So brand brief, 2 options for visuals. I should add also voice in there as well, because that's a tangible thing. Could I do that? Voice is fine. That
Yeah,
doesn't
well, I mean,
take-
you have voice in there as well.
Doesn't take time for that. Yeah.
But yeah,
That's-
do you see what I'm doing here? So now,
Yeah,
I've
you're
saved
cutting,
us a
you're-
couple of days
you're
per
cutting
client.
it down. Yeah, you're cutting it down.
Yeah, and we're still getting to the same outcome. And what's going to happen, Mario, is that they're going to go, I like this one, I like this one, but I kind of like this component of this. And could you adjust that? Cool.
Yep.
Spend another hour, bang, we're there.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Sometimes they just pick one or the other. Like I like that one, I like this one.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
Good.
I think that
But
also
like-
works.
but
well,
s-
too.
You'll find that they're happy. They're happy just from spending an hour getting to this point. And, yeah, and not going through that entire process. That'll confuse them more because that's how you get to the outcome. But what they're paying you to do is to think about that and not involve them. You know? Like, when I hire a cleaner to come clean our house, I don't need to hear a fucking rundown of, I'm sweeping the floors now, I'm using this particular spray. I don't care. I want a clean house.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I see.
So that's how you deliver.
I don't need to spend time on that Blaze strategy document anymore. That actually is, that will cut so much time off.
Yeah.
I can still do this for myself, but I will never present it to the client. I think that's the main thing, right?
No, don't even spend the.
Don't even spend.
I know. You know what? Spend the first half an hour populating that as quick as you can, so that you get a feel for what you're going to do in the second hour when you produce the two options.
Oh, okay. I see.
Does that make sense?
So do this as a part of the process of creating the.
Yeah. Use that as your own tool
Yeah.
to get to those two options, but make sure it's an hour. Does that make sense?
Yes.
How much time have we saved per client now?
Right.
So I couldn't figure out why
That was
you
the
felt
point.
like you were hitting up against a time barrier. I'm like, where is it? And now I think we've figured out where it is,
Yep.
right? So,
What I cut out completely was actually mock-ups. Designers love putting up. I mean, it's important to some degree if you're gonna have to like packaging, but if it's like brand identity, no, don't need to do a mock-up
No,
of a
just-
stationary thing.
yeah, just
Just send them the stylescapes or
you
whatever.
just send them those two website above the fold images
Yeah.
with the branding ideas in them so that they can see the whole thing. You know what I mean?
So include actually the pre-version of the site as well.
Yeah, rough. It's just rough. It's rough for everything.
I like that. Yep. Because then usually they just agree and then I go in and I just execute on the thing. I don't even need to spend another presentation going through why I did the brand identity and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
stuff. Yeah, so with this client on, I'm going to present this on Monday. Do you think I should or should I just scrap that and just go with the unique selling point and the visuals and the voice
Yeah.
and present that?
Yeah, and then just explain why you did it like that. So like
Mhm.
option one, here's the 3 reasons I did this. Option 2, here's the 3 reasons I did this. You know?
Really?
And just extract it from that.
Okay. I love it.
Because think about it, like whatever you see on a site, right? Once you get past the 2 or 3 big ideas that decide what's there, dictate 90% of what the website looks like. Then when you get to the 4th all the way to the 100th idea, they're not even, they're negligible.
Yeah.
So just go, here are the 3 major reasons that we went this way. One's the branding, one's the kind of overall look, feel and colour palette, and the other's kind of like the message or
Voice, yeah.
accentuating the voice in USB. That's it.
That's going to save me so much time. Wow. That is
Yeah.
wow.
Um,
Really will.
so then,
This was what I've been taught in design school as well, actually. That's probably also
yeah,
a remainder of it.
which
The-
is
the pitch.
it's the perfect strategy if you want to impress somebody that's hiring you to work for them full time.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So number 2,
Choose the build out, basically. So the look and feel, there's 2 things I do. So first I put templates up. There's like a few templates that I put in like something called Design Bolt, right? I create everything in Illustrator, all the patterns and stuff, and I just take patterns from like photographs and I image trace them and I modify them a little bit, but I don't spend too much time on that, which is good. And then I just post them into Design Bolt, all this type of stuff. And then for the website, I do this exact same thing, but now I have a template for that. So I just post the template, change the images, change the time, that's it.
so you have like
Takes
a
about-
predetermined template.
Yeah, it takes really about like, see, 1 to 2 days really, but because of the copy, I'd say, especially on the site. So,
Got it. So what I think you should do in the future as well is have one, maybe 3 templates. 3 complete web page templates, right? That all have different structure, like this one might have image and text here, this one has an image down here, text here, whatever.
Right.
But only once you've got 3 different types, just ask yourself, okay, based on this client, are they better suited for the first template, second template, or the third?
I've only been using one so far, the one I've created.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's the only one I've used
All
at
right,
this
good.
point.
So then
and
you
it
should be able to
works.
pretty easily,
And it works. So I
yeah,
guess
just roll it out. So then,
that doesn't take that long. And I'm already working on the copy after the strategy sessions. That's another thing I've been doing. It's kind of like, okay, I got stuff from the strategy sessions here and here and there and there. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna fill out
well,
the copy template that I already have.
what you should be able to do is like, this is like, let's say, this is the profile photo, right? This is the description of the USP.
Yep.
Here's like some copy too. What should happen is that every client that you come in, you should just have a drag and drop exchange so that their USP adjusts. You adjust the image, the copy in the first bit is the same structure, like you know how I get people to copy the structure of my website?
Yep.
You just change that with how they're different, you know what I mean? But all you want to do is the same thing.
Anyway, I was gonna show you basically they're the same. I did one for so Rob was the first one, and then I copied the same one to Keegan, which was the second one. Which
And then what I do when I tell people go in and build the same template as mine, I'm just like replace your situation with mine and keep the same structure.
Yeah.
And then that should only take you should be able to get that done in 4 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. Just aim for 4 hours, and if you aim for 4 hours, you'll get it done in 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then just ask me if you're like, this is too much to condense into 4 hours. Help me do it quicker, and I'll help you get it done quicker.
So yeah, I think
So that's the rollout.
That is the rollout. And then next, I take this off my hands completely, right? So after everything I built out is done, I have the brand guide done. And the brand guide's easy. It's just plug in. It takes honestly like maybe 1 day to 45 minutes, depending on how I go about it.
What's
But
the brand guide?
it's basically just to tell them, it's a summary of what they've done so far, and basically it's useful for creating content as well. Like shows the values, so how they can talk about their stuff, the voice, all this other stuff. So just
Okay,
nice thing.
again, like, that sounds like something that, let's say that's 4 hours. You want to get it down to maybe 2 hours.
I could definitely, because now that I get rid of this part, which is the overview,
Yeah,
I get
2
rid of the
hours.
overview. Now I can focus on this more. So.
Okay, and then third,
Just give them a launch. I gave them a launch tips sheet, which is basically here's all the stuff I've given you, the deliverables. Now follow this sheet, which shows you exactly how to launch all this type of stuff. How to change your banner image, how to change your profile, all this type of stuff, right? And yeah,
Okay.
there's a video of that.
So
yes.
now it's just, this is for everything. It's not only the instructions for how to change the website, but it's also
no, yes, yeah, there's
it's
more.
also
There's
like
more.
then LinkedIn,
Yep, there's more of that. Yes, for sure.
right? So this is, you want to create one universal set of assets that applies to everyone, and this should take you 1 minute.
No, I'm almost done. I think what I have left is the daily plan, what is
Cool.
it? And automation. But automation is like a future thing when I want
Yeah.
to scale it. But I don't think I'm going to use automation.
So
for now.
1 minute, because we just give them access to a Google Drive or
Yep.
whatever it is, right?
Exactly, easy. 1 minute.
That's it. So now something,
That's project completed.
this literally should be 8 hours of work per client. So we should be able to do 20 clients a month.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds.
And the other thing is that we're charging. What are we charging? We're charging like $80 an hour doing this. Whereas if you were taking 3 or 4 days to do the web rollout and then another couple of days for this, then we're getting $15 an hour, right? So that now you can see how we can get up to 20 clients a month now.
Yeah, but that, I don't know even how to take on 20 clients yet.
Yeah, but that's fine. You don't need to.
Maybe.
But won't it be great to get 6 a month at the moment
6
at
or
a-
5, yeah.
at 1,000 each?
I could.
That'd be a great start line. You know what I mean? But now you know how to do that.
Oh, I see. Well, you that, yeah.
So this all obviously takes time to get it right the first time. But like for me, design propulsion, I created that in a month from scratch.
And then you kind of
And
you can reshoot it sometimes when you learn new stuff.
Exactly. You reshoot it every time you have a major epiphany that's you need to change it because it's such a drastic, improvement, I suppose.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It might be a bit busier because it's like step 4, clone the website template, populate, blah. Right. Step 3 is pretty much email them. Right.
Pretty much.
Right. Then these become each of these individual steps here, right? Make sure they're the steps in streak. So you just push people through the phases. This is where they're at. This is where I've got this project at. Okay, cool. I've got to do this to get it to the next
Even
step.
in more granular detail than I have now, because right now I
Yeah.
have like strategy session, this and that, so it's very
Yeah. But like, I'm sure there's probably 4 or 5 milestones with this, right? Like within just rollout, or they might be 5 or 8 or 10.
What do you mean milestones? Like people
Like-
approving or what? Like,
No, more like actual physical
Oh.
things you have to do.
Yeah, probably banners. Yeah, exactly. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Got it. The whole brand.
But we can break that out. We can define that.
So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, subscribe, comment below, tell me your thoughts. If you have mentors, who are your mentors and who are, you getting coached by, right? Because we all don't understand sometimes, the differences in different viewpoints, right? So it's almost imperative to some degree to hire out people who have that knowledge of difference, right? Or at least meet with them or figure out things with them, because that's more important than just sticking with inside your bubble. So tell me more about that. Do you have a mentor? If not, why? All this type of stuff. Leave it down in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.